Welcome to the Cliffs of Moher in County Clare, Ireland. Today we will be taking a tour to view all that the cliffs have to offer. Aside from sightseeing, we will get an in-depth look on the history and the formation of the cliffs. Let's begin our tour with an aerial view. Before we move on with the rest of the tour, please take a moment to answer tour question number 1. About 320 million years ago, during the Upper Carboniferous period, the area of the Cliffs of Moher was much warmer and situated at the mouth of a larger river. Heavy rainfall created great floods that washed sand and mud into rivers flowing to the sea. The sand, silt, and mud were dumped at the mouth of the Great Delta, and over time, the sediments became compacted into solid rock, which we know as the cliffs today. It is important to note that the cliffs have been changing for 320 million years, and they are still a work in progress. Anyone looking at them will notice that they are not made up of one type of rock, rather they are layered in segments of multiple types of sediment. Each individual layers of rock vary from centimeters to meters. Each layer is a representation of a specific event in the life of the ancient delta as it migrated into the sea. As you know, weathering is the breaking down of rocks, soil, and minerals through contact with the wind, water, and ice. The water and wind from the sea broke down many common fossils from starfish, corals, and snails. Once a material is weathered, it is then eroded, which is the movement of the broken material. So, the broken down fossils were carried through the sea's natural agent to the cliffs. Finally, the broken material that has been both weathered and eroded is deposited at the cliffs. The weathering, erosion, then deposition of the common fossils are found in the limestone of the Cliffs of Moher. There are repeating cycles of sandstone, siltstone, and mudstone exposed at the Cliffs of Moher. These cycles reflect changes in sea level. Each time the sea level rose, the delta shelf was flooded by the sea, and marine mudstones were deposited at the top of the sands and silts. It was in between flood events that the seafloor was calm, allowing current ripples to form on the sediment surface, as well as allowing organisms to make trails in the sediment. Today, the cliffs are undergoing coastal erosion as waves crash against the foot of the cliffs, causing sections of the upper cliff face to collapse. As our tour comes to an end, let's talk about some interesting facts about the Cliffs of Moher. The Cliffs of Moher rise 120 meters, which is around 390 feet, above the Atlantic Ocean, and their maximum height reaches 214 meters or 702 feet. The cliffs are ranked amongst one of the most visited tourist sites in Ireland and are visited on average 1 million times a year, so you're quite lucky to have had this tour. Lastly, the cliffs have been featured in multiple movies, including The Princess Bride, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Leap Year. I hope you enjoyed your tour just as I did when I got to tour the Cliffs of Moher for the first time.